G'day guys, it's Clint and Matt here from Waterpro, and we are just going through how to do a basic program on a Rain Bird ESP-Me3 controller. The controller we've got here is the Australian model, but it doesn't differ internally from any other models around the world. Matt's already taken the door off of the controller, so if you're worried why his looks different to yours, it's because the door's been removed. We'll go through the date and time, the start times, the run times, and the watering days, and we'll give you a basic understanding of how to get your program operational without going into too much detail. The face has been taken off of it, so if yours looks different to this, that's fine. So we've plugged this into our power, and it's had no programming at the moment. So the first thing we're going to do is turn the dial from auto to date and time, and we're going to punch in the date and the time. So it's Thursday, May 21. We should have done this on the 1st, it would have been heaps quicker.
Like New Year's Day.
Yeah. So May 21. So the controller knows that we're not in 2021, we're in 2020. So make sure you don't confuse the year and the day. Tip for beginners, it'll tell you that it's Thursday there, so that's all done. That just saves itself, doesn't it? We don't need to...
Yeah, it's not a case of like confirming that or anything. Like, no, so yep.
So we go to the start times. So we have different start times, so you can have multiple start times per station, and then you can have obviously different programs. I don't want to confuse things too much, so we're just going to do one start time.
90% of the time you're going to have one start time.
Yep.
Only if you're growing things with like I guess
it's an established garden,
and then you would remove those secondary start times later.
If it was a seed that you were trying to establish, you'd have multiple start times.
Correct. Yep.
Or if you had a very hot period, like we do in South Australia, we have 40-degree Celsius temperatures regularly, so then you might be watering twice a day. But
correct.
So first start time, generally we will have not water restrictions. We'll want to water early. If we have water restrictions, which we've had here, you'll need to do the watering times outside of certain times. For the sake of this video, we will have a 5 a.m. start time on the first start time.
Probably worth noting that the buttons you were pressing,
yep.
The plus and the minus, I guess, are upping the times,
yep.
and minusing the times.
Yep.
These arrows will then move through the start.
Yep.
So you're working on the first start. If you're happy with that, you could have the ability to go next and go to the next.
So what Matt's done is taken us to the second start time. It defaults to off. We'll leave it like that, and you could jump through and see that obviously the 3rd is off, the 4th is off, and so on. 5th, 6th. Now that's for program A. If you do a program B, C, and D, you need to remember that you've done that, because you're going to have multiple start times and you might accidentally have them overlap. So for this purpose of this video, we'll do just program A, one start time at 5 o'clock. This is going to get you working, and then you can look at more detailed actions later. So we've done the start time. Now we're going to move to the run time. So this is a 4-station controller that we've got here. Station 1's what is flashing. Matt played with that before and took it down from 1 to 1 minute. So it was actually at 10 minutes.
From 10, yeah.
So they default at 10. So we'll take it back up to 30 minutes. We're watering lawn safe for this, and we're using an MP rotator. No,
does it have a press and hold feature?
We're using an R-band. It does have a press and hold, and when you do that, it doesn't move much faster until you get... So until I got to 50, it didn't start moving fast.
Yeah, okay.
So now I've got to get back down.
So it would have been easier just...
To get to 30 minutes, you just press it.
Yeah, cool.
You can hold it. It actually moves quite slow. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there's 30 minutes, program A, station 1. Now, if we press the arrow like Matt said before, we go to station 2. That's defaulted at 10 minutes. We're going to leave it at that. Station 3, we don't have a station 3, so we want to turn that off. Now, I'm not sure if you just hold that down to 0. So it goes to 0 minutes. If you hold them at the same time, no, it doesn't do anything. So on other controllers, you can hold the plus and minus down and it changes to off. It's just gone to 0 minutes.
Yep.
You just made us 6 hours, dude.
Yeah, I was just mucking around with it.
It's going to flood our backyard. We haven't played with this controller before, so we're just programming this based on our general knowledge. And I guess that helped. Obviously, we've worked in irrigation for a decade, but I want to highlight how simple this is for anyone that's doing it at home. You don't need to necessarily get someone in to do this. It's quite basic. So I used to say if you can program a VCR, you can program a controller. No one knows what that means anymore. All right, so the run times are good. We've got half an hour and we've got 15 minutes and 6 hours and no minutes on the last one. So then we just need to choose the watering days. So this is relevant for, I guess, people to understand if they've got water restrictions and they can only water on odds and even days. That's a thing. If people can want to water alternate days or they want to have a 3-day gap, there's a lot of different things you can do here. So this is when it probably starts to get a little bit more complicated than it was. I'm not sure what the options are.
You'd have your day select, so obviously at the top of the screen, I think it's got
Monday through Sunday
with a water droplet under them. The water droplet indicates that is actually on. If you were to press the minus button, it puts a cross through.
So if we wanted to go to a deeper, so that's only watering days. This is not
correct. So if you would, this is just a default. 90% of people are wanting to water. Choose a day of the week. We would then move across through those days.
Yep.
Now we get into our options.
Okay, there's the options.
Yeah, if we wanted to. Now, if you didn't want to, you would leave that back in that screen.
Yep.
So you're seeing those. If you did want to move into interval, we go across to it, and we get to...
so that's a 3-day cycle with 0 days remaining, so it will water today.
0 days remaining would be the next start time. So if you were setting this up today, it would water tomorrow.
Yep, okay.
All right, unless you had tonight as your runtime.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll cool.
Yeah.
So that's on program A, which is the only program we've got. So we could have the interval, and then does it go again?
Yep.
Oh, it just goes back to Monday. So if you go back. So they don't do an odds and evens.
It'd be advanced.
Yeah, okay. So that's an advanced feature. We'll talk about that in another video. We really just wanted to make this nice and short so that we can give you enough information to get you.
Obviously, that day's remaining is a case of saying, I want it to be every 3 days, but I've just had rain yesterday, so I don't need it to happen for 4 days. So I can put 4 days
So
there.
if we do 3-day cycles, so it jumps to the day that it's going to water. So 2 days remaining means it starts on Saturday, 3 days remaining starts on Sunday, 4 days remaining starts on Monday.
Yeah, which is a good indicator for someone saying, I don't want it to come on
till then,
because I'm going to put fertiliser down and all this sort of stuff. So
that little calendar in the corner's got me bugged out. I want to know what it does yet. So
I think it's a symbol to indicate interval.
Basically, that gets your controller to a point where it knows what date and time it is, it knows when it needs to turn on, and it knows how long each station needs to work for. At this point, you could leave the controller and turn the dial around to auto. Sorry, once you've put in your intervals or the days. So let's get back, actually. So with the watering days, you could choose to have... you go through the watering days and say that you don't want to water Sunday, you do want to water Monday, so we're pressing the plus and minus. So the minus is obviously a no, and the plus or the positive is a yes. So we want to water Tuesday and Wednesday, we don't want to water Thursday, we do want to water Friday, we don't want to water Saturday, we do want to water Sunday. And you'll see the little rain or the water droplet that's sitting under the day has a cross or a no watering symbol across that. That means it's not going to water on those days. Once you've set that, or you go through to your interval days and choose that, your controller's programmed simply, and it enables you to now have the controller understand what day and time it is, when it's turning on and how long it's watering for, and you can just stop there and turn your dial around to auto and leave your controller, and your controller knows what's going on and it will water when it's told to water next.
Correct. For program A. So you've made all those changes on program A.
And that's it. That's program A. Obviously, if you want, you can go deeper and have programs A, B, and C. You can then add weather stations. You can have seasonal adjustment. You can add a flow sensor. One thing that might come up now is that you want to test those stations, so you can go back and manually test that. The dial would just be either taken back to manual watering, or you can hold down play to start.
I believe that's still from... You can do that from the front window. Yep.
So that's starting a manual run of all programs.
Great. So because the selector here has been set in A, we're starting A.
Yep.
And then if we wanted to advance our station, so we're like, we've seen station 1's working, cool, no worries, I'll move to the next one. Station 2 is going to pop up. Now, you said you had no runtime in station 3?
No, it was 6 hours and 3, I think you put, and then 4 was nothing.
So 3 would come on for 6, and then 4 it misses. So if you wanted to still wanted to turn station 4 on, you would now need to go to manual watering.
Yep.
And then this option
so that's
here
all.
Is all.
Yep.
So that's still going to be progressive. So it's basically saying, well, we're going to turn all stations on for 2 minutes.
If you go down It just changes the 2 to a 1? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So then you'll jump through. So this would be for a contractor or a homeowner who's just finished a system and wants to put 2 or 3 minutes of water through each station just to see how it reacts. They could do that.
Correct. Or they could set these to be 30 minutes and be a bit more reactive with it. Instead of adding that second start time, have something and then go, you know what, it's 40 degrees today. I'm going to just manually give it all another 30 minutes just to give it more. So, yeah, correct. Can be done through other options as well.
So these controllers are available at waterpro.com.au. As with all of our videos, we're keen to hear from you, and I guess if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to stick them in the comments below. If you're sensitive about your comment and you want to contact us direct, you can email us at sales@waterpro.com.au or contact the shop in any other method that you can find. Please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos. We really appreciate your attention. We're trying to bring as much value as we can, so thank you.